And welcome to episode 2 of Going Football TV. And obviously, I'm with Andile. For this episode, we'll be looking at Liverpool and Arsenal. And I think it's going to be an interesting one because Andile is a supporter of Arsenal. But obviously, I expect him not to be biased in some of the things that are obvious that we may see. So, yeah, you guys are playing Liverpool on Monday.
Yeah, man, a big one. Super scared, but just hoping, that.
But are you happy with the form of your team?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't looked this good in a long time.
Yes.
We for the first time I can say that we're looking good. When an Arsenal game is coming up,
you look forward to it.
Yeah.
So are you happy with the style of play of Mikel Arteta though?
Mikel, that is coach. That's our coach, and I am very happy. I'm very happy with the approach he's having to the game. Building upon a philosophy that will bring victory to the club. I mean, he's been at the club since second half of the season, and we already have 2 silverware to go for. So I'm thinking that with him at the helm, we'll be moving to the right direction.
Okay, so I just want us to check Liverpool for now. Liverpool played 2 games, conceded 3 goals in their first game, playing against a newly promoted team, and these are the champions. So what do you make of that? I mean, considering 3 goals as the defending champions, it really says something about your defense.
Yeah, I think that Liverpool this season, they didn't start on a high note as they would have wanted to, because their defense was exposed.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying that this one was long time coming, because if you look at their defensive shape, it's not a solid defensive shape, because they make sure that they use their attack as their defense. So now they got a team that was able to find these pockets of holes and expose them. And you could see that Leeds in their first game scored 3 goals. I mean, for a newly promoted team to score 3 goals,
I think that's also something. Yeah.
So you can say that in the opening match, their class won them the game. But other than that, they were stretched.
But also even the game they played with Chelsea, I know someone may say, no, I saw some improvement. But for me, I wouldn't really say improvement, because Chelsea were not pressing them. I mean, the only person, I'm probably agree with me, the only person who was pressing for Chelsea was Timo Werner. He was the one who was really pushing, but obviously Fabinho was just all over the guy. I mean, also Fabinho playing defensively, what do you make of that?
Number one, he's a fantastic midfielder, defensive midfielder. So putting him at that position, I'm sure it's that gamble that coaches take, because we see it at City with Fernandinho playing centre back. So I'm thinking that with him playing at the back, he gets the job done. He's not your out and out player that you'd want there, but he gets the job done. So I'm thinking that for now, Liverpool might be looking at that one thing, that we want the person to get the job done. Fabinho was fantastic.
Do you think that that gap, or say that exposure that we saw from Liverpool, that saying that okay, Alexander-Arnold and the Robertson going forward, that they were exposed, that they can't really defend? Do you think that is something you guys can actually use to advantage as Arsenal?
Yes. I think
who will be attacking from the sides? Because I mean, we're talking from the sides.
Yeah,
who will be
attacking from the sides. The Liverpool coach will have to come up with a plan. If he uses both Robertson and Alexander, he's going to be in trouble, because we have Aubameyang attacking Alexander's left. We know that Aubameyang is very prolific offensively, and having Trent Alexander-Arnold on that right back might be a problem, especially if he attacks more. And now you can't say that we will deploy Fabinho to cover the space, because once you do that, you're leaving a space in the midfield. And now we have talent in the midfield. You have your Denis Ceballos who can create things on the center of the park,
and on the right also you have Willian, and in the first game I think he really impressed. I think he 3 assists for Willian.
With
in his first game.
With Willian, I hope to say that he's aging like fine wine. With the years that he's got, with the experience that he has. it's gonna be a spectacle to see. It's gonna be a spectacle to watch because you have him who has pace and can shoot. So you see, like, he's not that one player who's gonna look for someone in the box. You know, you can take players on judging by City. Liverpool's opening match against Leeds. You could see that they were attacked from the sides. So if you have a player like such as William, you know, he can attack the space that Alexander might leave open, and then he might, you know, look for Alexander Lacazette or Nketiah in the box.
But now there's Thiago, and I mean, in his first game, I really impressed, breaking a Premier League goal for a Premier League record for the most passes completed for a player who played 5 minutes, which was 75. And we know him from Bayern. The guy is very special, you know. His passing game is just on another level, and I think you did tell me before this podcast that he's from Spain, you know. That's the culture of Spain. They, you know, as much as they play a passing game, but their passing game has flair. Let's talk about that.
With Thiago, my goodness. Oh goodness, that guy. Thiago Alcantara, the former Bayern man.
Yeah.
He is a very, very different box-to-box player.
Yeah.
He can play box-to-box and box you in the middle, because you find him that he does do the dirty work at the back, steals the ball, not like you're out and out like a defensive midfielder, such as your Fabinho. You know that he's going to be rooted in that position, and you know knock people off. With him, he's going to be like very good in terms of steals, in terms of, you know,
so basically, he's a versatile player.
He is a versatile player because from that he can change defense to attack like one man. You know, with the attack forces of Liverpool. You know, so that
now sorry to interrupt you, if you say Thiago is a versatile player, yes, we agree. That also means it's a problem for Arsenal.
It's a big one. It's a big one because you would need your Granit Xhaka and Ceballos or Torreira or whoever Arteta is going to use in the middle of the park to be very, very wary of him, because he's not a person who you can say he'll be man marked the whole 90. You know. If you remember the game against Barca, you know, it was him and Quaresca playing against four defensive or central midfielders. So you can see that he has like what it takes, you know, to play in the big league. He is like a top quality player who can shake the whole team. You know, if he wins it in the middle, like.
So Arsenal is coming into this game as the favourites. I mean, I remember last season, Arsenal on a Wednesday they beat Liverpool. I think it was in the league. Saturday you guys beat Man City. So basically you beat the two at that time, the two best teams in the Premier League. I'll put it like
that is true.
In 1 week.
That is true. I would say that it's the Arteta feel or vibe. You know, with our current coach, we are no longer surprised with winning.
Yeah.
I remember back in the days we would win and we would be like, wow, we won.
Yeah.
And these days, like, a win is like something that, you know, like, is well deserved. Because you check out the fixtures that we had. Everyone was saying we are going to lose.
Yeah, I remember.
And not miraculously, through hard work.
Yeah, we
managed to win the game.
And I mean, in your last two meetings, sorry to catch you in there, in your last two meetings with Liverpool, you won.
Yes.
Obviously, that one in the league and also in the Community Shield. I know someone said it was a cup game, but I mean, Liverpool came with their squad. You guys also came with your squad. And you guys obviously won on penalties, but it was a win. So basically, in the last two games, you guys have been victorious. Do you think also that will come into play as you guys are coming to this game?
I think in the dressing room that will be a big pointer. That would be a big factor to say that we've beaten them before.
Yeah.
You know, like, we cannot be shaken. Like, we know that we're playing against the defending champions.
Yeah.
But we won't be shaken in a way that we will not bring our A game. We will play our game. We will push them to the brim and make sure that, you know, we fight for a good result.
Yeah.
So with that we've beaten them twice. That might make them very, very out to get us. That might make them to try and solidify their spots as the defending champions. Obviously, we beat them without the likes of Thiago. So with him in the squad, you know, they might have that confidence that, you know, we were a different team back then, but now we have extra
But now, briefly, you spoke about the fact that if Liverpool, I mean, we have seen for the past 3 seasons they've played with the same squad, and for me, I feel like it's getting tired. But another thing that you told me is that if now they really want to sustain the caliber of the team that they are, they need to get wingers. I think you said wingers. Because if they continue to play like this, teams will be able to see that no, this is their weakness. So, what is their solution now? Just briefly, what do you think maybe we can do? Because I know he bought Thiago, he also bought Diogo Jota. But I don't think that's enough. I mean, look at what Chelsea did. They went all out. They got Ben Chilwell, Thiago. Now they got a goalkeeper Mendy, Havertz, Timo Werner. There's Pulisic, there's Mason Mount. Like there's just everyone. You see.
I think with the case of Liverpool, I think their signings are very good because I'm sure that like their coach can now spot that the system is getting tired.
Yeah.
Teams are now able to exploit the right hand side and the left hand side because that is where like most of the goals come from. If you look at them, they have a proper spine. They have a good goalkeeper, centre back, midfield, and their forward. You know, they have like a proper spine. So now their weakness will become from the side.
Yeah.
So now their side is what they've been using for over the years as like a form of attack. So now having players who would be midfielders and play from the side, you know, it will allow the defenders, you know, to rest easy, not to do all the attacking as they did before. Because you could see that in the league between Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, you know, they would get maximum assists. You know, it shows you how good they are offensively.
Yeah.
But now because teams have spotted the gap that they leave behind, some teams even previous seasons they were able to exploit that part and then just go with them.
But to interrupt you there, don't you think also in closing, don't you think maybe also what is this? What do I want to say? Don't you think also the formation maybe Klopp can actually change? Because I mean we have seen that Trent and Anderson, they are able to go forward. Don't you think maybe a position whereby like Arsenal does, like 3-4-3, don't you think a type of a 3-4-3 can work whereby you have Virgil van Dijk, maybe you have a Fabinho, and you also have a Gomez, and you push these guys a little bit forward such that they don't do much work coming back. You actually use them as attackers more than they are defenders. Don't you think that's something that would work?
I think with how Liverpool are set out, on paper they might look like 4-3-3, but when they play, you know, they take
like that.
You know, they take more of that
formation.
That's the shape they mainly use, because if you check, they usually play with two central midfielders.
Yeah.
One of the central midfielders does drop back, you know, and does the job to try and cover the space. With the pace of Alexander, obviously he's able to track back and come, you know, try to cover. But it's that thing that now, because a team is set out to play like this, they use that to expose it.
Maybe it's a form of a structure for the team.
Yes. Like I think that the midfielder dropping in to try and stop attacks from this side, the guy comes back to obviously taking back. If you look at the goal that they considered against Leeds, you know, like the first Leeds goal, Trent was taking back. The guy was able to beat them both, and then, you know, he scored.
Opened the first one.
Then you can see that as much as you can have people covering that post, you know, if they're not a natural born or very good in that position, they're obviously, you know, like not going to be that good. So as much as you may have like a player coming to track back and cover the post that are or the spots that were left open, there's still a high chance, you know, of conceding goals.
Okay, cool. Thank you, man. In closing, obviously we talk fantasy Premier League. Which players would you take from these two teams for your fantasy, to say, you know what, man, I can't do with this one. You know, I know personally for me, from your team, I'd be sure to take Aubameyang, because I know.
Of course.
And obviously in the past two games, Lacazette has impressed. Yes, scored in the first game, the second game he has scored. Maybe this is his way of resurrecting. So I don't know, just maybe three players in closing.
3 players from the whole game, or just from one team?
Yeah, just from both teams in general.
From both teams, you need a Salah. Salah is more likely to score because now you're playing against Arsenal. Obviously, Aubameyang or Lacazette, they are bound to make something happen. So getting defenders from these teams wouldn't be like such a smart option, but you know, with that,
because they will be scoring against each other.
But you know, there's a high chance that the two wing backs or
Trent and
defenders.
the two assistants where I
Yes,
get
yes,
you.
yes.
I get you.
So those are the guys to look out for, and yeah, I think that would be my choice.
Okay. Thank you very much, man, for your time, and thank you to everyone who's watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down there in section if maybe there's something you'd like us to cover in our videos. Thank you very much.